boys and girls, it's Captain Andrew. I've been getting a lot of questions about pitching live baits on Lake Lanier. Here are some tips and tricks of some methods I've learned growing up saltwater fishing in Florida that you could implement on a lake. It's not the best way to do it. It's not the way to do it. It's just one way I do it. So hopefully this will help you out.
He's on it. He's on it. There we go. Was that 10 seconds? Oh, geez. Oh, that's a big one. Where are you taking me? Nice little striper there. Oh, there he is. Striper mixed in. There we go. This is why I tell everybody, you know, not to reschedule, cancel your trip, because you see a little rain in the forecast. I mean, I have rain gear on. I'm not wet. Yes, it's not a pretty day, but if you just want to hang outside on a pretty day, go to a park or something. You know, you want to catch fish. You're paying, you know, a good bit of money to catch fish. You don't want to. Oh, you don't want to miss days like this when they bite as soon as the bait hits the water. And that's what happens when you got these falling atmospheric pressure. That's a good one. That's got to be a striper there. Oh yeah, sure is. Or is it just a big old bass? It's got to be a striper there. Yeah, sure is. Come here, dude. There we go. A little guy. Thanks for the fight, dude. There we go, just hit the water. It seems a little short, but I'm sure they'll find it. Might be on it already. Yeah, sure enough it is. There he is. I mean, it's as soon as the bait hits the water. So, same spot, caught a striper last cast. Next cast, spotted bass. There we go, that one's been caught before. See you, dude. Oh, he's on there. Oh. It's amazing how much fish could be loaded up on one point. I mean, even a separate point on it just goes to show you, you know, how these fish just turn on and off. You know, you could be in the right spot, but timing is everything. Conditions are everything. And the conditions you want is the conditions today. Falling barometer, little rain, little overcast, and these things are gonna chew. My bait's just laying on the surface. He got it. He got it. Oh, I gotta change this leader out. I don't know how many fish I've stuck with this leader. It's gotta be wearing out. Now through May is a great time for this pitch bait bite, and I know a lot of people don't like to do the pitch baits. Let me wipe off my lens here. They like to pull free lines, planer board, stuff like that. This is just my personal preference. I'm not a troller. I do it, It's not my favorite way to fish. But here I'm going to show you an old saltwater trick. This is the blueback herring here. I'm belly hooking it about 2/3 of the way back. Reason why I'm doing that, I'm dictating what I want that bait to do underwater. It's going to want to pull away from whatever's pulling on it. So it's going to swim away. So what I do is do a light pitch out there, and I'll just pull on it a little bit just to face it the right way. Tail's going to go towards me, head's going to go away, and then I'm going to feather the line out. And what it's going to do, it just got ate right there. Oh, I missed it. What it's going to do, if it has time before it gets blasted by a bass, it's going to swim down and away for the most part. So if you're pitching, you know, I learned this method by pitching mangroves and docks and things like that for redfish and snook. And you don't want your bait to swim away from the mangroves. You want it to swim to the mangroves and stay in there. And also with this fish bait stuff, it's going to help keep your line tight so you can see and feel those bites, which there is no shortage of bites today. I mean, okay, this bait just hit the water. Let's see how long this is going to take for it to get hit if there's already not one on it. Let's see here. Yeah, there's one on it. I just keep missing. That's the thing though, when you do belly hook like that, you will have some misses when it comes to those bass. They got a little finicky boat, if that's a word, or a bite, I'm sorry. And usually the stripers, they just demolish it and keep going about their way. So, all right, belly hooked. I just showed you guys how to do that. There we go, we're gonna pitch this point. And this method, I mean, not the same depths, but pitching points, you know, through about May. Here's one on already. It should be pretty solid. A little bass there. I mean, my thumb slap wore out if you can't see that thing. I don't even think it's lunchtime yet. That's got to be about 60 fish in the boat, and I am by myself. Had to reschedule today. Clients didn't want to go, which is understandable. I mean, that radar was lit up pretty good. There we go. But I had a tank full of bait, and I knew the fishing was going to be excellent with this weather. So what's a man to do? Go sit on the couch, watch baseball? That's not bad either. I wouldn't mind doing that, but this is much better any day. All right, bait just hit the water. Belly hook, so you see shoot, there's one on it already. I'm just gonna feather that line out when it's swimming away. You know, I'm keeping the bail open, my fingers on the line here. Okay, there's one on it. There we go. Reason why I keep the bail open and my fingers on there, when I feel that bait pulling, I let it go. I let it swim, because that's what's going to trigger the bite, is that bait fish running away from the predator fish, whether it's a striper or a bass, whatever it is. When it's just sitting there, you're not going to get as many strikes. You want that thing to look as natural as possible and act as natural as possible, which is what a bait fish does. It tries to run away from the fish, tries to run away from you. You're netting them in the bait tank, and that's what's going to trigger that bite. See ya. All right, here we go. Here's the belly hooked herring. Old saltwater trick. Makes them swim away from you and down and away. 2/3 of the way back. Make this a quick process. You don't want to hold these baits out of the water for a long period of time. You want your hands wet. The quality of your baits is going to make or break your day. You got some bad bait, you handled it too long, you're not going to get those bites. There's one on it. There he is. Oh, pop loose. Was a bass anyways. Like I'm complaining about catching fish here. Would have been a good day to have clients on the boat, but you know, some folks are made of sugar. You know, just a little, you know, $30 Frog Tog rain gear suit from Walmart and you're good. That thing already got blasted on the surface there. Is he on? Yeah, he's on there. He's coming at me. He's trying to get it. So look, just when I feel that bait pull, there he is. Oh, they fool you when they swim right at you. I get folks ask me, what did I do wrong? Why did I lose the fish? What did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. These fish, you know, sometimes they eat it and they swim away. And you can really feel that bite. Sometimes they eat it, swim at you. Sometimes they eat it and just sit there. So you're not doing anything wrong. You're gonna have misses. You're gonna have break-offs. You're gonna have fish that come unbuttoned, just part of it. I'm gonna explain something else about this pitch bait deal if you choose to do it. On windy days, you know, it's not very windy today, but we have a wind, steady wind. If you're using spot lock on your trolling motor, your bow's gonna wanna face in the wind there. I'm gonna be interrupted by a bass here, but I'll try to explain this the best I can. Your bow's going to face in the wind, so you want to set up your boat on the point or whatever it is you're pitching, a ledge, channel swing, whatever the case may be. You want to set up so you're pitching off the stern. You want the wind, you know, blowing from 12 to 6 o'clock. The reason for that is, one, you're gonna, you know, depending on how you're hooking these baits, you're gonna get further casts away using the wind. You don't want to be casting into the wind if you can help it. There's times that you have to, but you want these baits, you know, you don't want them right next to the boat. You want them away. And these, you know, sometimes these fish are very boat shy. Here's one. And also, if you got a good wind, you're gonna have, if you're pitching out to the sides, you're gonna have a big bow in your line from the wind. A couple things are gonna happen. One, you're not gonna feel those strikes or see it on the rod tip. Also, it's going to drag the bait in a natural, non-natural way. It's going to pull it side, you know, especially if you're belly hooking, it's just going to drag that bait backwards and pull it out of the zone and where you want that bait to be. So always set up with your bow in the wind. So you want to be fishing wind 12 to 6 o'clock straight off your stern with your spot lock. And that's the same thing if you're deploying an anchor, which I wouldn't recommend in Lake Lanier due to the amount of timber, but it's going to be the same deal. All right, it's about time I leave this spot, find some stripers I want to eat. I mean, what, I catch 2 off them here, but and then about 30 bass. Be nice to catch a striper. You see here, I don't know if you can see on the GoPro, but there's a slight bow in the line from the wind, so you're not going to feel those bites like that. I pitched this bait a little bit deeper just to get away from those spots. Oh, there he is. Man, I can't get away from them. They are just absolutely loaded there. I mean, that's a lot of fun. I don't care what you like to fish for. I mean, getting rods bent on every single cast as soon as the bait hits the water. That's fun. That's fun. Great for kids. Great for anglers, new and experienced. Who doesn't like catching fish? I mean, the only thing better you could do is put a cork on it and watch the hole in the water where the cork goes down. Everyone loves that. I don't care what you say. But no corks today. Oh. Oh, it just got slammed. That's a chunky monkey. Golly. Pretty fish, pretty fish. As far as the pitch bait setup, as far as the equipment and tackle, the hook size is going to vary. They just stole my bait already. Hook size hook size is going to vary. You always want the hook to match your bait size. I use Owner Mutu Light live bait circle hooks for these herring, and I vary from the size anywhere from a number 4 to a number 2, number 1. It just depends on the size of the bait I have that day. And a lot of times there will be different size baits, so I'll have different rods, some rigged with a number 2, some rigged with a number 4, because if you have too big of bait on a small hook, you'll definitely get a lot more misses and you won't get that hook in there. And the leader is 10 to 12 pound fluorocarbon leader. I just use Seaguard yellow label, fairly inexpensive, and I like how it's, it's not very stiff, and that's what you want for this live bait to look natural underwater. And then my main line is that one's coming at me. See how fast I'm reeling when these fish come at you? I mean, what is that, a striper? Yeah, a little striper. Those stripers can swim faster than you can reel. But anyways, the main line on my pitch bait rods, I'm using 15 pound high vis braid. It's Power Pro braid. It's the yellow Power Pro braid. That way you can see, if you do happen to have some wind in your line and you got that bow in there, you can see it when it starts to tighten up, or if it starts to loosen up. Either one. You see something different, you probably have a fish on. That's about as small as they get right there. Call that a diaper striper. Fun regardless. This leader's got to be about toast. Let's just roll with it. I don't normally do that, but it's just me here by myself in the rain. So we'll just roll with it. Called a couple guides, see if they wanted to come out. No, they want to stay in to sleep. And I'll tell you, why these fish are biting so well today is atmospheric pressure. They'll fire up when it's falling. Stripers love low barometer, low atmospheric pressure, falling barometer. It greatly affects the bite. And out of all the species I've fished for, I would say stripers are the most sensitive to atmospheric pressure. So, if you can pick and choose the days you can go, you want to go on the rainy days or right before the rain. That's a nice one there. And that being said, also, I'm assuming the guides didn't want to go because we don't realize it, but the atmospheric pressure affects us humans as well. I'm not a doctor or anything, but I think it's the opposite. I think on those high pressure days when we got bluebird sky and the sun's out, we seem to be more active and we feel better. I think I had my GoPro in picture mode. I might have been talking to myself. I think out loud. It's thinking out loud. All right, that thing just hit the water. Fish on. I mean, how can you not have a fun day doing this? Make you think twice about wanting to reschedule a trip because you got a light drizzle that day. You know, anything unsafe, any unsafe weather, we're not going to be in it. But, you know, when that weatherman's just calling for 80%, 90% chance of rain, yeah, it's probably going to rain. But is it going to be bad? No. Any lightning, thunder, we are not here. High winds, anything dangerous, we're not going to be on the water. But this is as safe as you can get. Also, I don't know if you paid attention, the whole time I've been on the water, we haven't seen one boat today. You know, this time of year, Lake Lanier is notorious for its boat traffic. Not one boat. I am the only one out here that I know of. Here's another tip for using circle hooks with the pitch baits. And this goes for pretty much any circle hook. You are not setting the hook like Bill Dance with a plastic Texas rig worm. You are giving it a slow pull, whether it is reeling fast or steadily pulling the rod. Now, if you're new to this, I always suggest just start reeling as fast as you can when the fish hits, until you get used to it. But it is a slow pull, and you're still putting a lot of pressure on to get that hook stuck in them, but you are not snatching the hook like a plastic worm. And usually the more experienced anglers, bass anglers that I take, have the biggest issues with this, just because they have this muscle memory and they feel that bite and they just want to rip the lips off. If you ever heard that term, that's not what we're doing. We're definitely burying that hook in the fish with a lot of pressure, but you are not ripping lips. You are doing a nice slow pull. The bait's just floating on the water. Nice easy pull. Every once in a while you get one of these floater baits that don't want to go down, but the fish are biting so well they'll just smack it on the top, like that one did. All right, look, belly hook, feather the line out, let it swim, let it look natural. Now I felt it stopped swimming. There he is, and that's why. So I didn't feel a hit, I didn't feel a bump, I didn't feel a tick. I was just feathering line out, and then all of a sudden it stopped. You feel that, flip your bail, reel a little bit, see what you feel on there. You feel a little pressure, get that line tight. And that's what a circle hook's supposed to do, right in the corner of the mouth. That's a little dinker. Ate a big bait. The pitch bait by Lake Lanier. It's pretty good through May.